أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد سيد الأولين والآخرين مدد رسول الله سادات مدد قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قالت أم سليمان بن داود لسليمان يا بني لا تكثر النوم بالليل فإن كثرة النوم بالليل تترك الإنسان فقيرا يوم القيامة. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Süleyman Hazreti Davud'un oğlu Hazreti Süleyman aleyhisselam annesi ona Süleyman'a ey evladım demiş gece fazla uyuma.
Prophet Solomon's mother said to her son, Prophet Solomon, who is the son of Prophet David, "O my son, do not sleep too much at night."
Zira gece fazla uyumak kıyamet gününde insanı fakir bırakır dedi.
Because sleeping too much at night leaves a person poor on the day of judgment. Solomon's mother said to Prophet Solomon, the son of Prophet David.
Yani gecenin ibadeti makbul olduğu için
the worship at night is most acceptable.
Uykuyla bütün vakit geçirmesin diye buyurdu annesi Hazreti Süleyman Aleyhisselam'a.
Therefore, Prophet Solomon's mother ordered Prophet Solomon to stay awake and to not spend the whole night sleeping.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما خيب الله تعالى عبدا قام في جوف الليل فافتتح سورة البقرة وآل عمران ونعم كنز المرء البقرة وآل عمران. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Allah Azze ve Celle gece ortasında kalkıp namaz kılan Bakara ve Ali İmran surelerini okuyan kişinin emeğini boşa çıkarmaz.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that Allah Almighty does not waste the effort of a servant who gets up in the middle of the night to pray and to read Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah Al-Imran.
Kişi için en güzel hazine Bakara ve Ali İmran sureleridir.
The most beautiful treasures for a person are the Surah Al-Baqarah and the Surah Al-Imran.
Yani o başlarını düzenli okursa o Bakara suresinin, Ali İmran suresinin başlarını okursa o da aynı şekilde oluyor.
So even if someone does not manage to recite the entirety of Surah Al-Baqarah or Surah Al-Imran, he may read the beginnings of those two surahs with the intention of reciting the entire surahs.
O en büyük hazine bu Bakara suresi, Ali İmran suresi.
And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, describes those two surahs, the Surah Al-Baqarah and the Surah Al-Imran, and their recitation during the middle of the night as two great treasures.
Şimdi burada Allah razı olsun çok insanlar çocuklarının hafız olmasını istiyorlar, okutuyorlar hafız olsun diye.
May Allah Almighty be pleased with them. Now there are many people who send their children to Quran schools in order to make them become hafiz, to make them learn to recite the entirety of the Quran by heart and to memorize it entirely.
Bir sene, 2 sene okuyor garipler.
And those children then study the Holy Quran for 1 or 2 years, and they in fact during that time learn it and memorize it.
Ezberliyorlar ama sonra unutuyorlar.
They learn the entirety of the Holy Quran by heart, but then eventually over time they forget what they memorized.
İşte onun için bizim tavsiyemiz bu birkaç cüz öğrensinler. Mesela Bakara suresini, Ali İmran suresini öğrensinler, En'am suresini öğrensinler, Yasin, o Mülk serisinden aşağı hepsini ezberlesinler.
So since it's not something good to forget what one has memorized, our advice is to pay particular attention to rather make sure to learn certain parts, certain juz or certain surahs from the Holy Quran and to keep practicing them. So for example, one may learn the Surah Al-Baqarah in its entirety or the Surah Al-Imran or Surah Al-Anam, or Surah Al-Yasin, and all the surahs, including Surah Al-Mulk and all the subsequent surahs. So one may memorize these particular surahs or juz and keep practicing them.
Onlar sağlam kalsa ezberleyip de bırak unutmaktan çok daha iyidir.
And if one memorizes them and keeps them and practices them and makes sure that those remain solid in one's memory, it is much better than memorizing the entirety of the Holy Quran and then forgetting parts of it.
Çünkü bu hazine olarak Ali İmran, Bakara suresini, Ali İmran'a dikkat etmeleri lazım.
So especially when it comes to memorizing the Holy Quran, one should be aware of the responsibility and the blessings of having memorized the verses of the Holy Quran. And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, describes the Surah Al Imran and the Surah Al Baqarah as treasures.
قال رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم ما من امرئ يكون له صلاة بالليل فيغلبه عليها النوم إلا كتب الله تعالى له أجرا وكان نومه عليه صدقة. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki gece namazı olup da kendisine uyku galip gelen kimse yoktur ki Allah onun namazının sevabını yazmasın. Uykusu da kendisine sadaka olur.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that if a person usually prays the night prayers and has made the night prayers to be his habit, but then one day sleep overcomes him so that he does not manage to wake up during the night, our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, says, for that person, Allah Almighty will write down the reward even though he did not wake up, because he has made it his habit to wake up during the night in order to perform night prayers. But if it occurs that he is overcome by sleep and he does not manage to wake up during one night, then still Allah Almighty will write the rewards of his prayer, and his sleep will be considered as charity for that person.
Yani geceleyin normalde her gece teheccüd namazı kılıyor. Kılarken uyuyakalmış. Allah Azze ve Celle o namazın ecrini vermiş oluyor.
So if a person usually prays tahajjud prayer every night and has made tahajjud to be his habit, but then he falls asleep and does not manage to wake up during the night for tahajjud prayer, then Allah Almighty will grant the reward of that prayer to that servant.
O kula uykusu da onun sadaka oluyor.
And in addition to that, the sleep will be considered a charity for him.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي أحدكم نشاطه فإذا كسل أو فتر فليقعد. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki sizden biri namazı zinde dinç olduğu zaman kılsın, yorulduğu veya gevşediği zaman otursun diyor.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that pray when you are vigorous and energetic, and sit when you get tired or slack.
Yani bu gece namazlarında daha fazla oluyor. Yorulur, oturarak kılabilir.
And this is a situation that occurs particularly during night prayers, where one may get tired. And in those situations where one gets tired, a person may actually sit and perform his prayer while sitting.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من كثر صلاته بالليل حسن وجهه بالنهار. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki gece namazını çok kılan kişinin gündüz yüzü güzelleşir.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that the face of the person who prays a lot at night becomes beautiful during the day.
Yani çoğu insanın yüzleri Allah'a şükür mümin olanların güzel.
And thanks to Allah Almighty, that is what we can see and witness, that the faces of most people who are believers are beautiful.
Asi olan, dinden uzak insanların yüzü zulmet var, karanlık var.
And there's darkness, gloom, and ugliness on the faces of rebellious people who are far away from religion.
Çirkinlik var. Allah muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us from that ugliness.
Güzellik isteyen gece namazını kılsın inşallah.
So if one seeks beauty, pray at night. It is the prayer at night that will give you beauty, inshallah.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أتى فراشه وهو أن يقوم ليصلي من الليل فغلته عينه حتى يصبح كتبت له ما نوى وكانه صدقة عليه من ربه. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki, gece namazına kalkmaya niyet ederek yatağına giren ve uyku kendisine galip gelen gelip sabaha kadar uyanamayan kimseye niyet ettiğini sevabı yazılır. Yani gece.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that a person who goes to bed intending to get up for night prayer and then sleep overcomes him and he sleeps until the morning, unable to wake up, the reward of what he intended is written for him.
Yattı. Ben kalkıp da teheccüd kılacağım, necat kılacağım, şükür kılacağım diye yatar. Bir de bakmış sabaha kadar uyumuş.
So if a person lays down at night, going to bed saying, I will get up and I will pray tahajjud, I will pray salat al-najat, I will make my shukr prayer, and then he goes to bed and sleeps, and when he wakes up he realizes he slept until morning.
Onların sevabı hepsi Allah Azze ve Celle o niyetine göre yazar. O aynı sevap.
But all the rewards of all those worships will be written, and the same reward will be written according to the intention of that person, even though he overslept.
Uykusu da kendisine sadaka olur. Rabbinden ihsan edilir bir sadaka olur.
And his sleep becomes a charity bestowed upon him by his Lord Allah Almighty.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من قرأ بمئة آية في ليلة كتب له قنوت ليلة. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki kim bir gecede 100 ayet okursa ona o geceyi ibadetle geçirmiş gibi sevap yazılır.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that whoever reads 100 verses in a night, a reward is written for him as if he had spent that night in worship.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من قرأ في ليلة 100 آية لم يكتب من الغافلين. Yani Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor kim gece 100 ayet okursa yani her 10 rekat kılsa her rekatta 10 ayet okursa 100 ayet olur. 12 şey olsa yani rahat okunur 100 ayet dedi.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that whoever reads 100 verses at night, that person is not recorded among the heedless ones. So for example, if one prays 10 rakats and then reads 10 verses in each rakat, it becomes 100 verses. So to recite 100 verses is easily done.
Mesela Kul vallahu ahad 3 ayet 4 ayettir.
So even if you recite Surah Al-Ikhlas, you already have recited 3-4 verses.
O her biri bir ayettir yani bütün sure değil de ayet Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says verses, 100 verses. It's not about reciting 100 surahs. It mentions 100 verses, and just looking at Surah Al-Ikhlas, every single verse is a verse. And
Kim gecede 100 ayet okursa o kimse gafillerden yazılmaz.
And whoever reads 100 verses at night is not considered and not recorded among the heedless ones.
Gafiller Allah'tan gaflet edenler demektir. Yani gafiller iyi bir şey değil.
And the heedless, what is meant by the heedless ones, the heedless are those who are heedless of Allah Almighty, and being in a state of heedlessness is not a good thing.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تدعن صلاة الليل ولو حال بشات. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor. Kılacağın namaz bir koyun sağması zaman kadar olsa, süre bile olsa gece namazını bırakma.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that do not abandon the night prayer, even if the prayer you will perform takes as long as milking a sheep.
Yani 2 rekat bile olsa o bir koyunu sağmak 5 dakikadan fazla almaz.
So keep the habit of performing the night prayer, even if you just perform 2 rakats. Milking a sheep, that, well, it doesn't take more than 5 minutes, but even if it's just 2 rakats, perform the night prayer.
Onun için onu gece namazını muhakkak devam etmek lazım.
Therefore, one should consistently and definitely continue one's night prayers.
Ve bu kadar Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem'in müjdelediği sevaplar, dereceler, güzellikler var.
There are great rewards, ranks, and beautiful blessings heralded by our Prophet, peace be upon him, for those who perform the night prayer.
Onun inşallah Allah daim etsin bize.
May Allah Almighty make us, inshallah, to be consistent and permanent in performing the night prayers, inshallah.
Hayatımızın sonuna kadar onu niyet ettik. O inşallah o niyetimize göre versin Allah.
We make the intention to perform these prayers until the end of our lives, and may Allah Almighty grant us according to our intention, inshallah.
زاد شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأصحابه الكرام وإلى أرواح مشايخنا في طريقة النقشبندية العالية، خاصة إمام الطريقة وخلص الطريقة خواجة بهاء الدين محمد ويوسف البخاري وسيدنا عبد الخالق الجواني مولانا الشيخ شرف الدين داوساني مولانا الشيخ عبد الله فاز داوساني مولانا الشيخ محمد ناظم عادل الحقاني وسائر ساداتنا والصديقين ومن حضرتهم وجوارهم وسيدنا نفس أفندي ورفقائه حاج مصطفى تراب جملة من geçmiş şerifler için şehit şuhaların ruhları için hayırlarının gelmesi, şerrin defolması için. La Teala Fatiha.